up, everybody? It's Buffalo Ben 15 Golf back at it again. And today we arrive in a state that I have never played golf in before, West Virginia, at the Sugarwood Golf Club in Lavalette, just outside of Huntington, which is the second largest population city in West Virginia, right on the Ohio border. So, I didn't really know what to expect. I've never played golf in this area of the country before. But I have to say, I was quite impressed. I thought that Sugarwood was a very good golf course. With it being early March still, the grass still dormant. Obviously, Myrtle Beach, when you saw Crow Creek, it was a little bit more green than this, right? But I would say we are more so in the Midwest than the Southeast right now. West Virginia is odd in that way, where it kind of is a mix of a bunch of different climates, which sometimes makes quite difficult golf courses even more difficult because you just don't know what to expect, especially if you're not used to it. And there's no excuse, though, for that 8-iron shot that I just hit. That was just a terrible flare out to the right. There was no business of that ever being a good shot. And as you see here, on its way with the chip shot, a pretty decent one. So a chance to save par on the first hole here. About a 20-foot right to lefter. And another thing you'll notice about this video is a little bit shorter than some of the other ones that I've done. I'm trying to get back to that kind of 18 to 21 minute window. I felt like some of those videos were getting close to a half hour in years gone by. And just something that I know that I'm going to need to do, number one, to engage a larger amount of an audience, and two, keep myself from having to work too hard and put too much into these. Obviously, I don't half-ass them, but, you know, I don't want YouTube to kind of take over my life, as so to speak, because as I move higher in credentials and responsibilities as far as the PGA of America is concerned, with the PGA management program at Ferris State University, I'm going to have, hate to say it, but I'm going to have less time to do this stuff. And I think it's already shown. I mean, this is the first video I've posted in over a month. And I do apologize. I want to get back to about a week and a half between videos. I had a really good rhythm going last year with that. And that's definitely my goal. But for now, just trying to get as many out as I can. I've been working quite a bit over what's quote-unquote full-time. I'm working over 40 hours a week on top of work experience, portfolio stuff. It's just a lot to handle, and sometimes something has to give, and unfortunately that something is the something that isn't going to give me any supplemental income, at least at this stage of my life, and that's YouTube. And I have to abide by that with myself and with my priorities. And as much as I wish I didn't have to do that, I wish I could just do this for a living. Life doesn't seem to be that easy for us mere mortals, does it? Yeah, none of us are the good guys, or, you know, Bob Does Sports or Country Club Adjacent or all those golf YouTubers that have made a living doing it off of it. I'm just not that kind of person, you know. And part of me honestly never wants to become that kind of person, because I feel like individuality is compromised when your audience gets so big, because you have to appeal to such a large number of people. I know. And you know what? I'd rather have 1,500, 2,000, 2,500 or so super loyal subscribers that just eat up what I do than maybe 500,000, a million, or 2 million of them that just watch it for the occasional debaucherous comment or the occasional NSFW comment that I've been seeing a lot of golf YouTubers making, you know, especially among female golfers nowadays, which is just a shame. But I try to stay away from that kind of talk. I try to keep this game civil. I try to keep this game gentlemanly, PG-13 appropriate, you know. And, you know, you'll see me. That doesn't mean I can't get fired up and, you know, be who I am, though. You know, I don't have to sacrifice that just because I don't do stupid challenges where I inebriate myself with drugs or stuff like that. But that's neither here nor there. I don't want to sound like some moral high ground sort of guy. That is not my goal at all in talking about this kind of stuff. But I do have some level of concern for where the game of golf is headed with my generation. I feel like it's going a little bit too far. But that's just my opinion. You can have yours. I'm not going to fight you on it, especially if you're a better player than I am, right? So as you see here, kind of talk through these last couple holes, getting to the third green here, green in regulation, 2-putt, par there. I know, don't, you can call me cheap if you want, but I was trying to play speed golf. We had a single flying up her butt. But yeah, 2 over through 3, definitely not my best start. Not looking great for the quest to break 80 for the first time outside of the state of Michigan so far.
He's pushed another one. Way off to the right, headed deep into the woods.
So as you see here, just now that I've talked to you guys a little bit about kind of why I've been gone so long and what I've been up to, I'm just going to talk a little bit more through these shots now. And I don't let it get to me now that I'm older and wiser. You know, I know that there are going to be times where I go a month and a half without being able to post a video, and I don't let that get to me definitely like I used to. And that doesn't mean I don't let bad golf to get to me like I used to. I don't think Dad falls into the category of bad golf here. Look at this. Oh, a cliffhanger drop in there. And I did this for my dad. I put up his favorite golfer here, a similar moment from him. Mr. Tom Watson. We all know him and we all love him.
It can't stop there. Gravity has got to...
Yes, as we were talking about, a gentlemanly game. I want to just retain that integrity of that in my life when I play golf. And Tom Watson is a prime example of somebody who does that very well. There's a reason he's a World Golf Hall of Famer, folks. 8 major titles, 5 British Opens, just second to Harry Varden in total British Open wins. It's unbelievable. Man, oh man. I'm so glad he's one of the ceremonial first tee shot hitters at the Masters now. Ever since Arnold Palmer passed away, Tom Watson's been filling in for him, along with Gary Player and Jack Nicklaus. All right, after another bogey off to the 5th hole, and the 5th hole starts out with a major scare, OB to the left, and it is one that I pulled definitely, but luckily, thank God, 3 over through 4 holes. This round was starting to get super far away from us. All it takes sometimes is one break to get you back on track. And I take advantage of it here. A very awkward stance, but the ball was just hit almost perfectly. Every potential threat I fought through on that shot. The bad lie, the fact that I needed to keep it low, so I needed a low lofted club on top of an already bad lie where low lofted clubs usually don't work out so well. But it was one of those shots where, and I've said before, you don't need to be a sharpshooter. You don't need to be hitting every green. You don't need to be hitting every fairway to break 80. But about 4 or 5 times, I would say, on average, over the course of a round, if you want to give yourself that good chance of breaking 80 and shooting 70s, there are going to be cases where the course simply demands you to hit a good shot, and it's non-negotiably a penalty or a blow-up hole if you don't. It is just a fact. And right there, I was able to go 1 for 1 in that category there. Later on, as you see, a good chip up with the 50 degree, a slider of a 6-footer though. From right to left, kind of a tricky breaker, kind of one where you can play it a lot of different ways. You can play it inside the hole, you can play it outside the hole. I chose to go outside and just try to triple it.
Beautiful stroke. That's a real test of intestinal fortitude right there.
That was a good one. That's a good par after where I put myself. That was a huge one, ladies and gentlemen. 4 over through 5 and 3 over through 5. It sounds like more than one stroke because psychologically it sure as hell is. And building off of that very strong finish to that last hole with easily the best hit drive of the day. But unfortunately, it did roll through the fairway. I know, good problem to have, right? Thanks, Mr. Bigford. I had a great trip with my driver, though. I was hitting my driver so far. I had multiple drives at Crow Creek you saw above 280. There was one at the Pearl Golf Links in Calabash, North Carolina that we played on Monday. We played Crow Creek on Wednesday. And this round right here was the Friday of that week.
Yeah. Another missed green
on the
again.
5th hole of the Pearl, I hit a drive 311 yards. It was unreal, and it was slightly uphill at sea level. It was incredible. I mean, I felt like a new person hitting that driver. It's just so unbelievably good for your confidence when you just find something revolutionary in your swing, just knowing that you didn't have to change that much, that you were close all along, and finally unlocking that missing link. It's such a great feeling. Second and third shots on this hole were pretty mediocre, though. That was a nice little crafty kind of bump and run out of the bunker. It almost worked out. Our reward is a makeable, manageable putt for par. Not a guaranteed one, though, and as you see there, I am unable to get her in. So another bogey, another drop shot, now 4 over through 6. And thinking to myself, oh my goodness, this is the last round of spring break trip. This is the last chance for me to break 80 outside of the state of Michigan, at least for a while, if not for the rest of the year. Ooh, and that is not going to help.
That is a wicked hook.
Well, he's just compounding error after error mentally.
Trying to do something about going right. And he overdid it. Now he's got quite a lie.
Probably about 60 yards.
Yeah, 50 or 60 yards. Falls well below his feet. You have to be careful not to fall on his ass on the way down. Oh, that looks really nice. And he gave himself a chance to save the par.
Thought I'd let Dad have some commentary on this video after that amazing shot from that mountainside. That ain't just a hill, that's a mountain. We're in West Virginia, folks. Home of the Mountaineers, right? And an unbelievable shot from a very strange lie. Kind of sitting up in some fescue, but also just super below my feet. Got it to within 10 feet on that green. And while that putt didn't go in, a bogey was definitely a lot better than it could have been there. So if you guys have noticed something, I honestly feel like as far as shot hitting ability, as far as shot making ability, as far as contact, as far as placing myself in the right positions, I feel like this is one of the worst rounds I've ever posted. However, the score, while it's not amazing, isn't too bad. You know, I've been able in this round, and this is a telltale sign of somebody who's able to give themselves a chance no matter what to break 80. Limiting the damage after each calamity occurs on each hole, that something bad happens. Limiting the damage to just one shot And every single time I've failed to make par, that's what's happened. It's only been one shot that I've lost. And, you know, as much as I was very out of shape in this video, as much as, you know, I've lost about 30 pounds since this video. You guys are going to see once I start posting some 2024 golf vlogs that took place in like May, June, July, August. I'm going to be a lot lighter than this. You know, while I was just not there physically, while I was just not there fundamentally, I was able to do enough to salvage a relatively decent score on this front nine. You know, especially for a course that I've never seen, and the front nine is over 3,500 yards. Yeah, Sugarwood Golf Club is a 70.7 rating, 131 slope. So this is no pushover course. This is no guarantee to break 80 here. And as you see on the drive here, another decent one. This one just leaking a little bit right, but it actually hits the cart path right next to the fairway. And I give myself a very, very short shot in here with my wedge here. So, as you see, just inside of 80 yards, just thinking to myself, oh my goodness, this is the time to pounce on an opportunity if there ever was one. And as soon as I hit this ball, covering the flag all the way, right for it. What a shot. 7 feet away from the cup to have a chance to salvage a 40 on this very difficult front nine.
Well, folks, that is a heck of an approach shot.
Might be birdie time. After everything I've faced on this nine, after all the just terrible iron shots and the couple massive pulls out of nowhere, just fighting a two-way miss, all of these 9 holes pretty much, we still have a chance for a plus 440 with this putt. Pretty straight, not a ton of break. What a perfect roll that was! That is how you finish a 9-hole golf vlog. A 40 plus 4 on a par 71, mind you. This was a par 71. So an equal performance on the back nine would be enough with it being a par 35. 40 on the front, 3 out of 7 fairways, 3 out of 7 greens. The putter, as you see, was a big help today. While I wasn't really making anything, I wasn't missing any shorties, took advantage of that birdie opportunity. That putt on 5 was really, really good. About that same distance that I just had on 9. So, overall, it seems to me like the tide is turning in our favor a little bit as we head into this back nine. And it is by far the most important back nine of the trip. 5 states now. I have scored an 80 on the nose, but have failed to break it outside of the state of Michigan. Last year, an 80 at Pipestone in Ohio. Same thing last year, Knob North in Cohutta, Georgia. This trip, Crow Creek in North Carolina. Early this February in Judy Creek in Granger, Indiana. And a year ago as well in Gibson Bay in Richmond, Kentucky, where I shot an 80 with a double bogey on the final hole. It's like Phil Mickelson, a 5-time runner-up in the U.S. Open, heading into the one at Marion in 2013. And lo and behold, he finished runner-up again that year for the 6th time. I am that 5-time bridesmaid that is looking to put all of those near misses behind him. And we have a serious chance to do it in Lavalette, West Virginia at the Sugarwood Golf Club. All right, guys, the delay between this video and the next will definitely not be as long. The back nine will be out week and a half, I'd say. I'm aiming before the end of September. I look forward to posting it. You guys are in for a treat with it. This is Buffalo Ben 15 signing off. Have a good day, everyone.